beautiful people, Mac here, bringing you a hot live vlog coming from my super speedster, fucking freaking fast Prius. And just wanted to talk to you about something that was on my mind. I mentioned it yesterday that I'm restarting school today. Going to online school, completing my master's, that sort of deal. And it got me thinking about, it's people are going back to school, and it's that I'm pretty sure whatever grade you're going to school, even if you're elementary school, going from middle school to high school to college, or somebody who's going back to school after years of not going back to school, and that's always the first days, nervousness that people tend to get. Now, it's a little different because I'm going to an online school. It only took a 6-week break, but it just got me thinking about, the people who get nervous about going back to school, and that nervousness that you get from when you first walk into the classroom, or you get ready to do your first post online, yada, 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 that sort of thing. And it just got me thinking about it. It's like honestly, that's a good feeling. I like that feeling because it's exciting, I mean, you're taking a step towards something newer or greater in your life. And I know some of you are like, I hate school, especially those who have to go to school until they're of a certain age, elementary school, middle schoolers to high schoolers, etc., etc. You have to keep going to school until you turn 18, basically. Well, I mean, I know you guys hate it right now, but trust me, love it, enjoy it, and do as much as you can in that situation, because there'll become a point in your life when you wish you did more, and then you end up being an adult like me, waiting well after to go back to school. And now I've already got an associate's degree, and then I went on and got a bachelor's degree. I'm still relatively young, but what I'm saying is, enjoy that feeling you're getting of going back to school, because you're not going to get a lot of that, honestly. I mean, there'll become a point when it's not required for you to go to school anymore. So you're not going to go. You won't need to go. And you'll miss that simplicity of going to school, that simple habit of having to keep going to school and stuff. And let me tell you, you're going to wish you could go back to those days and do more, do better. Now, there are some things back in my high school days when I was in high school that I wish I did better, that I wish I did more of. Do I wish I could go back to high school? No, not really. I just wish I did more while I was in there, but I don't wish to go back because it made me who I am today. Basically, if I went back how I am back to high school now, things would have turned vastly different, because I'm vastly different than what I was back in high school almost 10 years ago. So, and now that I'm going back to school, or I'm still continuing my education while I can for my master's, doing online, and got a little bit of when I first started going back after my associates, I took, funny story, when I got done, when I went for my associates, I finished up my associate's degree. First one in my family to get a college degree. And I was like, alright, I'm done. I don't need it. I'm done with school. School's not for me. I'm just gonna flat out say it. That's academia. I give more people the credit. I give credit to more people who do it, but it is just rough. That type of lifestyle is rough. I wouldn't want to be 18 trying to do it. Alright, I'm glad I'm like much older than that. So I finished up, and I was sitting there at work, bored out of my mind, and decided to say, you know what? I got my military benefits. Why not? Let's just keep going. And that's exactly what I did. I said, started going online and my bachelor's. Now that I still got more military benefits, I said, you know what? While I got them, there's a lot of people out there who's taking out massive debt and everything to get what I can get for free. Why not go ahead and just keep going until I run out of military benefits? Not just for the sake of, professional development, but for the sake of self-development, more than anything at this point. It gets me thinking, gets me more knowledge in different field and stuff. See, I got my associates in biotechnology, then I got my bachelor's in environmental science. I'm a wastewater operator. I work in sewer plants and hopefully soon water plants as well. So it made sense to get those related field degrees. Now that I'm in a managerial position, now it's more of a business type aspect. So I decided, instead of going for like a master's or PhD in environmental science, I decided to go ahead and continue on with an MBA, because it makes more sense in that direction to get one of those, because now I'm in a manager type position and stuff. And plus, I decided that somebody in my family needs to be the first doctor instead of me, so I can't set the standards too high for the next generation. I'm joking, okay? But yeah, I just wanted to make this short, little quick, this maybe 10-minute video about when you're going back to school, regardless if you're an elementary student, you get off a summer break or winter break and go back to school, or, same with middle school and high school students, or you took a break, now you're going to college right after high school, or you waited years and years before continuing on with your high school. Enjoy that feeling you get when you first step into that classroom, when you first get into that nervousness, because you won't get many of those ever, okay? And it's a good nervous, all right? I know people say it's bad to be nervous. No, this is a good nervous because it's a step towards a better direction in your life. Now, quick little story. I'm gonna tell a quick little story. My mother dropped out the first day of high school, her 9th grade year, because she was pregnant with me. Okay? That means she was young. She was very young pregnant, alright? And so she didn't complete high school at all. Alright? It wasn't until I started college that she decides to better herself in such a way, despite having 3 boys and 1 little girl, 4 kids, she decides to go back and get her GED. Alright? So she got her GED, but she didn't stop there, ladies and gents. She decides to keep going and actually get an associate's degree in culinary arts. That just shows that with any kind of dedication, that anybody could do it. Alright? My mother was, I can't remember how old she was when she did it, but she was much older, because heck, I'm in college. I was in my 20s. Alright? And she took, I don't know what made her fully decided. I can't quite remember. I think I was in basic training when she fully decided. But she decided to go back to college, or go back to, get her GED. And then, from her GED, go ahead and get a college degree. Hey guys, sorry about that. A telemarketer started calling on the phone and suddenly stopped last video. But where I was at was my mother. She didn't finish high school her first go around. So she made that, like I said, she made that decision of going back to school to getting her GED, and then went even further and actually got an associate's degree. So what I'm trying to say is, I know that some of you are saying, well, I'm too old to go back to school. My mother had 4 kids before she went back to school. That's not an excuse. People with kids, oh, I have kids, I don't have time. Still not an excuse. My mother did it. She had 4, for crying out loud. I mean, I have one too, so I'm still going. Don't use your kids as an excuse to try to better yourself. No, I'm saying do this smartly though. Try doing school very smartly. I don't agree with taking out student loans at all. I'm allergic to debt. I don't like the idea of debt at all. And I don't like the idea of having to pay for an education when you can that ends up giving you just a piece of paper at the end. I'm sorry, I hate to say it to some of you guys with fancier college degrees. It still honestly is just a piece of paper. I hate to say it. When I could read the same stuff in a book and probably learn a lot more than what sometimes in certain classrooms. But that's neither here nor there. I can go off about the benefits and disadvantages of a college degree as much as the next guy, especially since I have a trade skill, since I work in a trade field with 2 college degrees. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're wanting to go back to school and you can afford to go back to school without taking on a student loan, go ahead and do it. You can even do it slowly. You don't have to be. When you get to the course, I'm telling this to some of the 18, 19. This one's gonna be some of the 18, 19-year-olds who are just about to go to start school, or some of the adults that want to start back to school. They're gonna say you're gonna need it full time to hurry up, accelerate. Don't worry about it. Okay, go at your own pace. Go at what you can afford. Now here's another kicker. Go to a school you can afford. All right. Don't go to a school, especially you 18 and 19-year-olds. You guys are the one. The reason why I'm singling you guys out is because you guys are the ones who are going to fall into this trap. Just fall into this trap a lot easier than some of us adults. But you guys or some people who are older. You guys are young men and women. So then people who are older and has experience. I gotta use my head will block out the sun. But let me tell you, go to a school that you can afford. Don't go to a school that your friends are going to just because your friends are going to. Your high school friends are going to. Let me tell you, that whole dynamic, that social dynamic is going to change once college occurs. Especially if you guys want to start, if you want to live in a dorm or something like that. Go to a school you can afford, and don't be afraid to go to a tech school first to get some of those, to get the basic core credits before transferring over, or just staying at a tech school, or going to a different university, getting the same 4-year degree that you could get at a major university, and you're still going to make the same regardless. Especially, let's say if you get a teaching, I don't know what a teaching degree is, but you get a teaching degree from, let's say, UGA, Auburn, Clemson, Alabama, or you get a teaching, 4-year degree from any of those schools, or you get a teaching degree from North Georgia Tech, Athens Tech, Tri-County Tech, any other tech school, or something similar to that. Jesus, I don't know, a bunch of other schools that have that degree, but are just not like football famous or basketball famous schools. And you still go back home, or you go to the same place with both of them same degrees, and they both get hired. You both are still going to make about the same. That's just the cold hard truth. Both are still going to make about the same, and the person who went to the tech school or lesser grade school paid a lot less compared to the kid going to the more expensive school, just because it's famous in name. Now, I'm not saying don't go to those higher end schools. I'm not saying that. I mean, I would love to go to one school in particular, but it's probably not going to be in the cards for me. I'd love to just get a certificate or maybe a 2-year degree from that school, but it's probably not going to be in the cards for me. It is what it is. I'm not going to cry over spilled milk, but I'm going to a school that I know I can afford, and I know that is going to be more safer. Now, I'm hoping I can figure out how to edit this video together with that next video, because because I could easily go off into the college degrees, the student loans, going further into it. But what I wanted to really talk about, really wanted to mention, is that when you walk, is that those who walk into first class, the first day, and you got that really weird gut feeling. It's like you don't know what to expect. You don't know what's going to happen. Enjoy it. Because it's not a lot of times in life that you're going to get that kind of feeling. Okay? So enjoy it. Alrighty, well I'm about to pull into work here, about to actually get some work done. So hope you guys have a good rest of the day, and I'll talk to you later on the next one. Work hard. Peace.